Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, let's talk about the best middleweight in the world. Now that Canelo is no longer campaigning 160-pound division. That's right, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade put in that work this past weekend, showcased all of his talents in that ring as he finally had an opponent that brought that out of him. I was very impressed with what I saw with Andrade. I know some people were knocking the performance, were disappointed because he didn't get him out of there early. I'm actually glad Andrade got the rounds in. I mean, the second round stoppage would have been nice. It would have looked even more impressive. But being 15 months out of the ring, he needed that activity. He needed the tough rounds. He needed a real fight. And he was in there with a credible opponent who pushed him, who made him dig deep, and brought out a lot of his skills, man. I was impressed with the footwork, man. I see you, Andrade. I see you, bro. I was impressed with the footwork, man. He's got some really nice footwork in and out, to get out of harm's way. He has great range. I mean, he did a little bit of everything in that fight with Liam. He was aggressive. He was the puncher. He came at him. He played defense. He boxed. He moved. He danced. He power punched. The athletic uppercuts. I mean, that's the issue with that's the obstacle when you fight Andrade. It's like going to an obstacle course to hit him. First, you have to cut the distance because he's most likely going to be longer, ranger. He's just a long dude. First, you have to cut the distance. You have to come to him because he can reach you, but you can't reach him. That's his strength. And his distance and his range is his strength. And his footwork was sick, man, in that fight, bro. I was like, holy shit, man. Because I haven't seen Andrade push in such a long-ass time. And he finally had a good opponent that brought out a lot of his skills. And, yeah, man, Andrade's almost a complete package. The only thing that's lacking, and it makes sense because he's defensively he's very good. His footwork, he's very good. His athleticism is very good. The only thing that's a major weakness, he doesn't have the greatest chin. However, it's hard to touch his chin because you have to go through an obstacle course. First, you have to cut the distance, all right? Then you have to get in range to where you can hit him. However, you're already in his range where he can hit you. Now, once you get past that range and once you get past his distance, now you have to watch out for his counters. You have to watch out for his athletic uppercuts. You have to watch out for his step back counters. Just so you can just so you can land one little jab on him. So it's frustrating when you fight Andrade. You have to be very athletic. You got to be defensively sound. You got to have good head movement. You got to have fast feet. And you got to be in and out of there when you get inside. Because he's going to counter you. And he has good enough power to hurt you, drop you. The only thing is he can't, he's not the greatest finisher in the world. But man, I was very impressed with the performance. He showcased all of his skills, showed what he's all about, and he's a problem at 160, man. That's why Golovkin don't want to fight him. Golovkin talking about taking the rest of the year off until December to cherry pick fucking the weakest champion in the division, in Murata, who was gifted the belt after Canelo left the division. So is he really a real champion? Who hasn't made one defense of any major title or beaten anybody of significance in the middleweight division? This is the guy Golovkin should be trying to fight, a unification. There's no excuses, man. You get paid if you're going to fight Andrade. Andrade brings the zone bags. You want to get paid? Fight Andrade. Eddie Hearn will pay you. He'll pay you a fortune to fight Andrade. So there's no excuse, man. There's really no excuses. But, Golovkin knows he can't beat him. He's too slow. He's too old. He won't be able to go through that obstacle course and trying to cut the distance and trying to land on Andrade. He's going to constantly get countered and most likely get outboxed in a points decision loss. But Andrade's the best middleweight in the world. Unfortunately, he may never get a chance to prove it. Charlo has a puncher's chance. That's it in that fight. He'll get outboxed cleanly in that fight. but he does have a puncher's chance, and he is explosive, and he could land something on Andrade. But Andrade is a superior boxer, a superior athlete. He has more tools in the bag. He's a longer, rangier guy. It'll be a tough fight for Charlo, stylistically. And it's a very tough fight for Golovkin at this stage of his career. 39, slow, gonna have to cut the distance, try to get inside, and constantly get countered and peppered with jabs and uppercuts by Andrade. It's a terrible matchup for Golovkin. And that's why, looks like he's most likely gonna duck him. Even though it's a significant payday for him to fight Andrade on the zone. It makes no sense, man, for him to just sit out the rest of the year. The Golovkin pussy, bro. I've been telling y'all for the past few years, bro, that Golovkin pussy, man. That dude is... him and Inoue are like the same, bro. They have great abilities, very strong, powerful punching power, but man, they are the two biggest pussies in boxing, bro. Very selective with who they fight. Don't want no smoke with any elite fighters around their divisions. Wants to fight the weakest links constantly, time after time after time. Wilder, Golovkin, Inoue all have the same type of behavior, bro. Pussy behavior. I don't get it, man. At least Wilder took the Fury fights when they thought he was finished. But Inoue still ducking the elites at 115. And Golovkin don't want to make a bag against Andrade. He wants to fight the weakest link champion in hopes that Canelo's just going to give him another payday, bro. Bullshit. But I see Andrade moving up in weight very soon. He can't get a big fight at 160. He can enforce his mandatory position with Billy Joe at 168. So that's an opportunity for him down the road. He can also do it if Canelo wins the fight. He can move up and enforce his mandatory position, and Canelo will have a choice if he does win that fight against Saunders. That's not a foregone conclusion to me. Now, if Canelo wins, he might go after Plant, whatever. I really doubt. I seriously doubt that fight happens. A PBC fighter, I don't know, bro. It's a lot of talk. It's a lot of talk. But Andrade's in a good position. He's still champion at 160. He can enforce his mandatory position with W at 168 since he's a super champion with WBO. And either they vacate or they make themselves look bad if they don't fight Andrade. If he moves up in weight and enforces his mandatory position. Billy Joe, I don't think Billy Joe will duck him though. Billy Joe will fight him. It's a shame that fight didn't happen, man. That was a fascinating fight. Not in terms of excitement, but in terms of the styles, how the fuck they would have dealt with each other. How would Sanders deal with Andrade's footwork and range? And how would Andrade deal with Saunders' movement and speed? That was a fascinating fight in terms of how the hell they're going to deal with each other. To me, those two have the most complicated styles at around these divisions. And to me, both of them had the best chance of possibly beating Canelo. I'm not saying they'll beat Canelo, but they have the best chance because of their difficult styles. But Andrade finally showed everything in that fight. I was impressed. I like what I saw. And he's definitely a problem for anybody at 160. Golovkin ain't going to fight him most likely. So I could see Andrade taking a busy title defense this summer. And then move up in weight at 168 and enforce that mandatory position at 168. He'll get a bigger fight sooner or later. He'll enforce it unless Saunders avoids the mandatory or Canelo avoids the mandatory. But whoever wins that fight on May 8th will have an obligation to defend against Andrade, whether they like it or not. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.